Class 8C, good afternoon, and today we're going to start with the reading and discussion of the chapter Comet. And as already you have told me what a comet is. Yes, it's a heavenly body and it's an object that looks like a star with a tail. Yes, and my voice is not audible. Of course, you can't hear me. You're saying that I am very loud. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Yes. Now, right, when we talk about these comets and heavenly bodies, there have always been so many things associated with it. Of course, there is the science to it, but we associate our, superstitions, our own beliefs to it. So many of you, yes, you guessed it correctly. Let me see if I'm able to share the screen with you all and just have a look here. This is what a comet looks like. Yes, so it's something like this with this huge tail, and this is how it is visible from a distance. Yes, can you see what a comet looks like? Can you? I'll just hide myself so you can just see this here. So this is the comets, right? From a distance, this is how it. So this is the star, or you call it a meteorite or an asteroid. I don't know what the technical term for it is, but from a distance, it has this long tail behind it. So it is there, isn't it, Isco? Yeah, see here, this is what the comet looks like. Isn't it beautiful? Yes, so how beautiful. And these celestial bodies, these heavenly bodies, obviously we have been there. So attracted, and that element which is so mysterious about it, we have been. Yes, it looks like a big white light in the distance. It's beautiful, it's dangerous also. Why is it dangerous? Why do you think the comets are dangerous? What happened if another heavenly body, like we read about, so there are so many things happening. You talk about the shooting stars or meteorites falling or asteroids falling, and they're coming in the path of the Earth and in the orbit, and what if they collide with our planet? What will happen? Yes. If it hits, then it will destroy many parts. It will not only half the Earth, depending on the size of the comet. If it is a big comet, a huge one, and they're not small in size, they're huge. The small ones, they go by, many go unnoticed. It will be apocalypse. Yes, exact word, Pearl. Absolutely. So if it does collide, it is going to be the end of the Earth. So if a huge body, like there, and as I said, many of them, they might be as big as another planet, or they might be as big as a country. Imagine here, so you have a heavenly body as big as that coming towards the Earth, and they collide, the Earth is going to be over. And many times, when we've read about here, about changes which have happened on the Earth, we've read about ice ages. We've read about ice ages or not? Yes, when you read about the geological history, you read about evolution and all, we have read about ice ages also. So like some people say that a meteorite came and the ice age came, and with that we read about the dinosaurs also, the dinosaurs becoming extinct, isn't it? So heavenly bodies, yes, they do have a role to play, isn't it? So right now, yeah, we're waiting for the sun to come out, most important right now. And so it is. So when an asteroid comes into the atmosphere of the Earth, it becomes a comet. So thank you so much for all this, information today. I'm learning so much about heavenly bodies from you all. And what do we call a person who studies these heavenly bodies, who's there with the telescope and looking at it? What do we call people who studies this? Who likes to look at the stars, who likes to look at the planets, wants to study about them? They are called as astronomers, right? Astronomer, absolutely correct. It's an astronomer. And a person who studies about the position of the stars and the influence it has on our life, that person is called an astrologer. Okay, so astronomers, they look at the stars, they look at the planets, and yes. Now we're going to start with the reading, and let's see what is going to happen in this chapter, and let's hope that all stays well. We don't want, a comet coming and falling, colliding with our Earth. bringing an end to this beautiful planet. So let's start the comet, part one. A new comet has appeared in the sky and is heading straight for the Earth. A head-on collision, which is nearly unavoidable, will mean the end of life on this planet. Scientists and religious leaders react to this situation in two different ways. What happens to the comet? And you know, in this kind of a heavenly experience that we have, we've had, you know, like, yes, lunar eclipses, and it was one of the longest eclipses that we've had. We've heard about the blue moon and the red moon, all these heavenly, you know, like what phenomena taking place. And one thing is there, when a new star is sighted or a new planet is sighted, so they, like the astronomers, they give it a name. So the reaction of scientists and religious leaders. So when scientists studies the heavenly bodies, they are astronomers. And when we have people who want to know that, you know, these stars, you know, we have our astrology, you look at your horoscopes, and these people are the astrologers. So their opinions are going to be different, right? Whose opinion should we believe when such a situation arises? A religious leader or a scientist? Who should we listen to when such a situation arises? If we are practical, if we are sensible people, whom should we listen to? We should listen to the scientist. Yes, the scientist definitely is going to tell us what is right and what is wrong, what we are supposed to do, right? Or what is going to happen or what we can't do about it. Now, who are the characters? We have Dattada. He's an amateur scientist. He's not a professional scientist. He does it as a hobby. He can't stay away from the keen-eyed Dibya Chakshu, right? Dibya Chakshu is the comet. Chakshu means eye. And because of its appearance, you know, like how longish tail it has, and there's so there, the head over there. So it seems as if it's a big eye, a divine eye, a heavenly eye, Dibya Chakshu. Dibya helps him achieve his secret ambition. So who's Dibya? Is the comet. Dattada's wife, Indrani Devi, wishes he hadn't found the object of his search. So she wishes that he never seen the comet because he's always busy with his telescope looking at the heavenly bodies. And scientists are like that. They spend hours and hours on their research, busy with the labs, they're busy with experiments, they're busy gazing at the heavenly bodies. Okay. It was a moonless night in December, perfect night for star gazing. A burst of cool breeze from the window was enough to disturb the sleep of Indrani Devi. Who would like to read today? Anybody would like to read? Agam Shireen has joined us. Agam, would you like to read? Yes? Agam, are you there? Half awake, she felt for the adjoining pillow. Although she knew the answer, Dattada was not there. Who is Dattada? He is the astronomer, right? He likes to study the heavenly bodies. Who is Indrani Devi? His wife. So she does not like that he spends so much time looking at that. Yes, so he's a immature, not a major, a mature. Not a professional one. He's doing it as a hobby. He's doing it, it is a mature, not major. Okay? Yes? Parisha, who's there who gave me the answer? So he has gone to hobnob with that wretched Dibya. Yes, Prableen, it is a mature. Okay? He has gone to hobnob. Look at him. He's going to spend time with that wretched Dibya. Why doesn't she like Dibya? Because, yes, her husband is always busy there looking at that comet. At least he might have bothered to close the door. He's gone out, but yes, he's left the door open. Even as she muttered her complaints, Indrani Devi could not repress her smile. She could not control her smile. She knew how utterly oblivious her husband was of the practical problems of living. He was not aware of what are things to be done, not to be done. He is concerned about his heavenly bodies and his telescope. Didn't his doctor tell him to take special precautions against the cold? But he wouldn't remember to put on a sweater, even if it was lying on his bedside chair. He was an absent-minded scientist. And that is what we think about them. They're so busy with their research, they're so busy with their stars that they forget about everything else. So his doctor had told him that you have to be careful of the cold. And even if sweater was lying in front of him, he would not wear it. How could he, when Dibya had put her spell on him, how she's personified the comet? Who is Dibya? Dibya is the comet. And how Indrani is talking about the comet as, yes, person, someone who's taken away the attention of her husband. He's not concerned about his family. He's not concerned about his health even. She picked up the white woolen pullover, wrapped herself in a shawl, and made her way to the roof to break up his tete-a-tete with Dibya. It's his conversation. He's talking to Dibya. She found them both huddled together, eye to eye. At least Dattada was looking into Dibya's eyes, right? So he's there, staring at her and having a conversation, talking to her. And right, at least he was there. When Dattada acquired his telescope, he was so thrilled that he called it Divya Chakshu. So Divya Chakshu is not the name of the comet here, but the name of the telescope, divine eye. And even the comet looks like that also, right? With the longish eye and the eye in the center and big. So Divya Chakshu, divine eye. To Indrani Devi, the telescope was like a designing woman who had ensnared her husband. So she just called it Divya and the name stuck. So he's there just staring, busy with his telescope, looking at the stars, looking at the sky, not caring about his health, not caring about his family. So she was a little jealous that he's always busy with his telescope. Okay. Yes. So he called Divya Chakshu. Right? So Divya Chakshu. Chakshu means eye. You must have done your Praivachi in Hindi. So it was called as a divine or a heavenly or eye. Yes, you've done that. To Indrani Devi, the telescope was like a designing woman. So for her, she's another woman who's taken away the attention of her husband. And he's not paying attention to her, but he's busy with the telescope. So she just called it Divya and the name stuck. So she called her telescope Divya. To Dattada, the telescope marked the fulfillment of the ambition of a lifetime. This is what he wanted to do. As an amateur astronomer, he had longed for enough money to buy a good telescope and for enough spare time in which to observe the heavens. So he was an amateur, astronomer. He was not a professional, but he loved to stare at the sky, at the stars, and he could do it properly if he had a telescope. So he bought a telescope and he thought, now I have the telescope, I have time also to, right? So that I should have time here to look at the stars, to gaze at the sky and to see the heavenly bodies. Okay, right? So who's Divya Chakshu? Divya Chakshu is the telescope. Yes. And what does Dattada like to do? He likes to look at the stars. Yes, he likes to use his telescope to look at the heavenly bodies, right? And Divya is the name which has been given to the telescope and the name has stuck. Okay, right. So where were we? Yes, he got them both when he retired with ample money. He wanted to buy the telescope. When did he have enough money now? When he retired. So when he left, left his job and he had money now. So he bought a telescope because that is what he wanted to do. It was his ambition. He wanted to be an astronomer. But because he did not have time, he did not have money. So he was not able to fulfill it. Yes. So the telescope was duly installed and long were the dark nights that Dattada spent in star gazing. At least Indrani Devi thought so, right? So yes, look at it here once again. So here is, who's this? Who do you think is this? It is Dattada. What is he doing? What does he have in his hand? What does he have? He has a telescope. Yes, very good. And he's looking at the stars. He's gazing at them. and he wants to find out that maybe I can find a new star or something, or a heavenly body. Yes, absolutely correct. Yes, he's star gazing. Okay. Any doubts? Any questions over here? Anyone? No. Can we continue? Yes. Here, put on this sweater, or do you want Nabin Babu to order bed rest tomorrow? So what was the worry that Indrani had about her husband? So when he was looking at the stars, what happened to him? How did he behave? He forgot to take care of his health. He was sitting out in the cold. He was not even wearing a sweater. He was not concerned about his health. Yes, he ignored his health. Absolutely correct. Yes, he ignored his health. He did not take care of his health. Like every other amateur astronomer, Dattada had a secret ambition that he would one day discover a new comet. And you know, comets, it is not every day you see a comet. They come after many, many years, right? So like, I remember when I was quite small, so there was this comet, Halley's comet. So Halley's comet had appeared at that time. And of course, it was a big craze. And it did come close to the Earth, that even you could see it with the binoculars also, which we saw also. And as the people have these superstitions, you should not look at these with naked eye, it will hurt your vision. Or these are superstitions that are related to it, isn't it? Right? So yes, so people, the astronomers, they think I should see a star, I should see something new, and it should be named. I'll give it a name, isn't it? Yes, so that he would one day discover. Yes, that day we have news that a comet has been discovered, isn't it? Right? For comets can be new, coming as they do from the remote corners of the solar system. Like one of you had answered, they come there, and when they enter the solar system, right? So they get the tail also behind them, and right, they're visible. Like planets, comets also orbit around the sun, but their orbits are highly eccentric. So it's not in proper orbit that they'll go. They also orbit, but they change. Their orbit is a little different. It's not exactly circular, right? As it should be a proper orbit. So once in a while, a comet comes close to the sun. It has a longish tail that is lit brilliantly by the sunlight, and then it reduces into darkness, not to be seen again for years or for centuries. Right? So some comets, they come visible after a short time. Some are not visible even for centuries. This is the beauty, you know, this is a mystery. Isn't the universe such a mysterious place? Isn't it? Right? So what happens? When does a comet become visible to us? When are we able to see it through our telescopes? Yes? When are we able to see it? We are able to see it when it comes close to the sun. Yes. And then afterwards, right, it seems as if very fascinating space is so fascinating. And right, there are so many mysteries unknown around us. We are so concerned about ourselves, you know, but yes, the whole solar system, it is such a fascinating place. So many secrets hidden there, so many secrets, and which we have not yet discovered, isn't it? Right, so the comet, it comes close, and after some time, what happens? It just disappears. It might be visible again quickly, or it might come after years and years. Okay, right. What chance did he stand with his 8-inch Divya? Didn't professional astronomers have gigantic telescopes? Now look at his telescope. It's not such a big one. And when you see the professional ones, they have a telescope which is there, you know, like having the a lot of magnification, and they're able to see very clearly, isn't it? But this is an amateur one, which people like you and me would like to use and see through, but not what scientists would prefer. They prefer something more, what? Yes, they're huge. They have so much of magnification. You're able to see things so clearly, right? So let's come back. Datta was optimistic. Who's an optimistic person? Yes, who is an optimistic person? Who is an optimistic person? A person who is positive, a person who is a positive in his approach. Never mind, I will find one after some time. He knew that the professionals with their pre-assigned programs would be looking at faint stars and nebulous galaxies. They might miss such an insignificant thing as a comet, which they were not expecting to see anyway. Indeed, amateurs had often discovered new comets which the professionals had missed. So he's thinking that the professionals are busy. They're looking at the bigger secrets of the universe. They're looking at other galaxies and everything. So I will be the one to find the comet, and I'm going to surprise everybody when I have found a comet. And it looked to Datta that tonight was going to be the big night. For against the background of the same old stars, Datta had detected a faint stranger. He re-examined the charts with him, checked his dibya for any smudges on the optics, screen or on the lens might be some smudge, did some calculations on his pocket calculator in torchlight. For though absent-minded about daily chores, he was meticulous in his observation. Yes, there can be no mistake. What he was looking at had not been there earlier, and it did look like a new comet. Right, okay, so we'll just pause here for the day.